I was going to make this Nomi pattern out of this red linen, but this pattern is such a statement dress. And I've got all these vintage tablecloths. And I've just laid it out generally, and I think I'm going to be able to get it out. I will have to do some fabric surgery where I put everything together so they will fit. But it's going to work. I'm so excited. And this way I can use up these vintage linens. If you look at this pattern piece, it's supposed to go on the fold. And the only way you can get both of these to fit in is if you do it like this. But if I do it like this, then most of the embroidery will go into this dart. So I've decided that I'm going to have a seam down the front. I love that little detail. So if I do it like this, then most of the dart falls inside of the embroidery, and I don't lose so much of the flowers. I might just lose some of the edges of the embroidery. Another way I'm changing the pattern is I'm giving it more space over there, because this pattern has a very small waist and I don't have a waist, and I also don't want it to be tight fitting. I want it loose around my waist, so I most likely will also not do the back darts. So my back pattern I'm going to put on the fold, and because this is supposed to have a zip, I'm just going to go over as much as the zip would have gone, and I'm also giving it a bit extra at the bottom, just so there's more space for my waist. So this is how my outlay is. This is the skirt front part, and I'm trying to get as much as the embroidery on it, and this is the best configuration. What I also did is I'm going to use the hem that's already on the tablecloth, and I'm going to cut these two parts that also have hems, also according to the tablecloth seams and stuff. So I've laid the pocket out that when this part fits on there, that you will have that bit of flowers and embroidery sticking out. So this fabric is old tablecloth, and I am busy just mending all the little holes. If you go over a hole a few times like that, it will keep it intact. The thing is, with old tablecloths, if you make dresses or things out of that, you need to remember to just wash them by hands. There's a hole in this fabric, and I cut out some leftover embroidery, and I'm just going to sew it onto there. I am busy with the back panel, and that needs to be gathered onto the back bodice, which is over there, and over there is the skirt bottom part that needs to be gathered onto this. So now I'm going to do rows and rows of gathering stitches. On the back, and then I sewed the frills to the back panel, and I just saw this dress is going to be really long. Now it's time for the front, to put all the panels together and then sew the front together. But look how nice the tablecloths are playing together. This was one, this was another one, and this was the last one. Let's do the pockets on the front. First, you place the kind of the lining of the pocket, and you sew it down from there to there. Then you fold it over like that, and then your bottom part of the pocket will come in like this. And I just love how the flowers are sticking out over there. So this needs to be gathered onto that, and then the front skirt is finished. But look how nice this plaid is playing with the embroidery. I love how the orange is picking up the orange in there. And then it all will get gathered onto that part. And But look how nice the pockets came out. This is quite tricky. So the front of the skirt is rounded, and then you gather the bottom part into the top, and you cut it on the corners there, and then you sew it right around. So it goes up like that. And I see on their one, there's more gathers, but mine didn't make so many gathers, but I actually don't really mind it. So I'm now at that place where I'm gathering the bottom part onto the top. Look at that. So the back I've done earlier, I am now busy with the front and sewing the borders to the skirt. And then I can put it all together. And there's a cutting tool, which I always forget to use because my other machine doesn't have it. So let's have a look. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it, but it looks a bit small. I hope it fits. I would be really disappointed if it doesn't fit. But look at this. Oh, I think I've got a winner. Okay, it's 9 o'clock and I need to sleep because my work starts very early in the morning, but I really want to finish this dress. So I feel like a naughty child on a school night. I'm going to sit and sew. I basically need to overlock all the places where I've gathered the skirt in all the tiers, and then overlock the side seams, put them together, put the sleeves in. I've already gathered the tops, and do the neck, and then I'm done. So I really think I can do it for the next hour. Let's see if I can finish it. If I go to bed at 10 o'clock and I start working at 6 o'clock with my other job, then it still gives me 8 hours of 7.5. So I'm going to be naughty and actually sit and work. I then went ahead and overlocked all the side seams and everything else that needed overlocking. All the overlocking is done. I'm going to put the shoulder seams and the side seams together now. And then I can fit it and see if it fits me, because this looks like it could be a bit small, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Okay. And somebody commented of, why don't I make patterns? Why do I play with the patterns until I get them to fit? My body is not standard sizes. So I could make a mock-up. But what's the fun in that? I mean, living on the edge, making stuff and hoping for the best. No, not really. There is a place for using mock-ups. And it might have been a good idea to do a mock-up for this, just because I don't have more of this fabric. But on the other hand, if it doesn't fit, then I'll sell it. But I do hope it fits, because I really love this fabric. I have a dress. I hate the neck. I'm going to make that much wider. I hate things that come so high, it feels like it's strangling there. Oh, I don't know what they were thinking with this pattern. I mean, with the facing, it's going to sit there. So I am just going to go like that. I use the edge of the tablecloth. It's a bit tight, but I do have stuff underneath. And I just think it's gorgeous. Look, it's got swish. I'm busy with the elastic. I am just putting it in, pulling it as I go. I sometimes wish I could really sew this fast. Nope, I'm tired now, but I've put the elastic in the sleeve, and tomorrow morning I can gather the sleeve onto the sleeve cap and then gather the sleeve into the dress. And this sleeve cap is actually amazing. It gives the sleeve volume, so you have those big puffy sleeves. I had to admit defeat last night at 10 o'clock. And today we were busy, but now I can get back to this. So this is the sleeve cap, and you fold it like that. If you meet up your dots, you gather the sleeve onto this, and then you gather it all again to fit into the dress. And then you meet up the middle blue dots, and you meet up the side blue dots, and then you gather the sleeve onto this. Gathering is a pain under the best of circumstances, but my cotton kept on breaking and I was really frustrated. I've made some bias binding for around the neck. I have now gathered the sleeve to the sleeve cap, and then you're going to do gathering stitches for that, which I've done on this one already. And then you pull it in to fit the armhole on your dress. I fitted the dress and it was gaping here. Now, when you put a sleeve, it's not really a problem, but I like my dresses to fit snugly around my arms, because when I put a sleeve and it's not snugly, then I find that it actually irritates me. I've got a bit of a tactile intolerance going on in my life, so I need to be very careful of that. So what I did is I marked where it was gaping, and I'm just going to give it a little dart. Now, I did speak about darts in my previous video, and that's something to keep in mind. A dart doesn't need to be a big, massive thing. Small tucks here and there can actually really shape your garment to fit your body perfectly. And that is something I do quite often, and in the end, you don't really see it. So I've now pinned where I'm going to do my dart. I'm going to sew from there to there, and it's literally just here on the side, and I'm going to do it on both sides. I can now pin the sleeve into the armhole. So I've done my little darts. I'm supposed to go and iron them flat, but I'm not going to do it. My side seams are also going to be flat. I'll iron all of that afterwards. And then remember, 1 notch is front, 2 notches is back. So this is my front, there's my front notch. And because I've put the dart there, my notches will still line up, and the rest I must just ease in until they're all happily playing together. So side seams aligning, and then notches meeting up, having a party there. It's opened, and look how much it's gathering there. This is going to give such a nice puffy sleeve. You sew on the smooth side, not on the side where the fabric gathered. And also remember, while you are sewing, when the fabric is gathered like this, it's actually really thick. You are looking at 4 or 5 layers of fabric here. So just be careful when you sew over that. Go slowly. And make sure none of your fabric is caught at the bottom. And then just reverse and cut it off. Let's look at this. Oh wow, look at that poof. I think it's the perfect poof. Oh my goodness. Wow, the sleeve is going to be epic. I was going to do the next sleeve next, but this dress is getting really heavy. So I think I'm going to do my bias binding first, and then I'll do the last sleeve. And sadly, I didn't have a long enough strip, so I just had to put this together with little seams. And I'm going to make sure that one of these longer pieces is in the middle of the neckline like that. Last step, and then it's just the finishing touches. I need to overlock the sleeve, where the sleeve and the bodice comes together. And it's a bit tricky here because it's so thick. So the secret is to just go slow, but not too slow, because then you can burn out your engine. It's really not liking this. Sure, I hate putting overlockers through such hard work, but sometimes you just have to, and the secret is to just be careful and go slow. And then for the neck, I went with bias binding. I've put the bias binding, and then I just made some ease cuts right around, and I fold it back again, and it looks like this. I know this pattern called for a facing, and maybe I should have done that, but this is what I've done. I wore this dress today, and I had to take out some under the arm. I think because of that dart that I added in afterwards. It was not part of the pattern. It was cutting into my arm, so I think that will make a difference. And then the sleeve had an elastic, and I've just decided I hate elastics around my arm. So I have lots of this hem left over. I think what I'm going to do is do a cuff with that, and then just gather it onto it and sew it down over there. So cut a cuff about this wide and use this hem for